oh God, the water, look at the water. It's rising so fast. It's taking the car. The panic in those voices captures what the radar images could not: the sheer, terrifying speed of the collapse. What began as a severe weather warning for the Valencia region transformed, within hours, into a hydrological nightmare that has rewritten the geography of eastern Spain. We are standing in the aftermath of the Dana phenomenon, a high-altitude isolated depression that unleashed a year's worth of rainfall in a single afternoon.
Guardate. Pazzesco. Hanno tutta a rota.
The initial impact was not just a flood. It was a tsunami of mud and debris that tore through towns like Paiporta and Chiva, catching thousands of residents in a trap of rising water with little to no warning. As the sun rose this morning, it revealed a landscape that looks less like a modern European city and more like an apocalyptic junkyard. The infrastructure damage is catastrophic. Highways that serve as the arteries of the region are severed, with bridges snapped in half by the ferocity of the torrent. We are seeing thousands of vehicles piled atop one another like discarded toys, caked in a thick, suffocating layer of brown sludge that has hardened into concrete like armor. The natural landscape, too, has been scarred. Riverbanks have burst, turning peaceful streets into raging canyons, and the agricultural heartland surrounding the city is buried under feet of silt, destroying upcoming harvests and erasing property lines. The emergency response has been a study in both heroism and frustration. First responders, utilizing helicopters and Zodiac boats, have been working nonstop to pluck survivors from rooftops and the tops of stranded trucks. However, the challenges are immense. The very mud that destroyed these towns is now hampering the rescue efforts, making roads impassable for heavy machinery and ambulances. Power grids are shattered, leaving entire neighborhoods in darkness, while communication towers are down, creating a terrifying silence for families desperate for news of their loved ones. We have seen neighbors forming human chains to rescue the elderly, wading through chest-deep water where emergency vehicles simply cannot go.
So you need to understand, this is the debris that's left over after the summer with the beach clubs, right? People don't clean the wood out. So this is not the sea bringing all the garbage from the sea. It is the people that are not cleaning up after themselves. Obviously you see some furniture too, and the people didn't take this very, very seriously. You know, when you're staying on an island and you're on the coast, you should take some precautions. We are safe. Thank you for all the messages. Everybody took the proper precautions. Obviously, those who live close to the sea, I mean, Catania is a coastal city, but we're inland, and Catania goes a little bit uphill, so we're fine. But whoever lives on the coast is going to have a major problem if they didn't take the necessary precautions.
The economic and social consequences of this event will be felt for decades. The financial strain is immediate and crushing. Thousands of small businesses, the lifeblood of the local economy, have been gutted, their inventory washed out to sea. Insurance systems are already overwhelmed, and the cost of rebuilding the shattered infrastructure is estimated to run into the billions.
Hey, Billy!
But beyond the money, there is the displacement. Families are sleeping in gymnasiums and shelters, staring at the reality that their homes are either gone or uninhabitable. There is a profound psychological toll here, a collective trauma etched into the faces of residents who watch their lives wash away in real time.
Are you crazy? Get up there!
Yet, amidst this devastation, there is a pulse of resilience. We are seeing a community that refuses to break, even as it mourns. Volunteers are arriving by the thousands, carrying brooms and buckets, walking miles to bypass blocked roads just to help strangers clear the mud from their living room. This storm was a brutal reminder of nature's volatile power in a changing climate. A warning that no infrastructure is entirely immune to the fury of water. But as the mud dries and the recovery begins, what remains standing is not just the skeleton of a city, but the enduring spirit of the people who call it home.